Okay, let's do this. This is 10, so this is playground 10 and page 15. Exercise, use your return values. Using return values. So, what they want you to do here is modify these functions. So the function impossible belief takes several numbers. It then prints the statement, but they say that instead of printing it, they want you to return it as an integer. So they want you to return a property. What I like to do with some of these is I'll copy them and then comment them out and then paste them. To comment out, you can highlight the rows and hold down Command and hit the slash button, the one that's shared with the question mark. That's by the shift button there. So that's to comment out multiple rows. Okay, so I'm going to modify this. I like to keep this just so in case I mess this up so badly I need to start over. So first of all, they said they want you to return an int. So to do that, you make a little arrow here and type int. So that means return int. Now it's going to yell at you. Let me see if I can hide this down here. It's not helping us much. It's going to yell at you because you're not returning anything yet. And so right now, instead of printing it, they say we want to return it. So I'm just going to type return here and return the total. Because all this inside here should be good still. It takes in this, takes that in, takes this in, adds them up, and returns the total. So now I've got a function that returns the int. What else does it want us to do? Okay, it wants us to update this one. So let me do the same. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to comment out the original one just so I've got it stored. Update this so that instead of its two internal constants, it takes two arguments, number of impossible things as an int and meal as a string. So see here, this function isn't taking any properties in. If it was, they would be inside of these parentheses here. So they said they want us to have one called number of possible things, and it's going to be of type int, and then one called meal of type string. Okay. And so now we don't have to declare it in here. We should comment this out. And we can also comment this out because we don't want to declare it inside of the function. That means it's like you're locked into tea time at 10. Instead, that can go away. Now this is corresponding to this, and this one is corresponding to this. Then it wants us to call impossible beliefs count and store the resultant constant. So let's do that. So we'll say let, here, that means a constant. If it was a var, or if you learned this yet, but var is variable, let is constant. Let, I don't know, counted beliefs, I guess I'll call it, equal impossible beliefs count. If you hit enter there, then it pre-populates all the text there for you. Let's say there's 12 pigs flying, I don't know, 3 frogs becoming princes, and 444 multiple lightning strikes. No? Okay. So, then we're also going to call impossible things phrase passing in the result of impossible beliefs count as one of the arguments. This is kind of a confusing lesson, but what they're saying is impossible things phrase, and then we're passing in the counted beliefs here, and then I guess I'm going to put like the meal is like second breakfast. That's it. We're not returning anything though, so okay, let's see. That's kind of bugging me, so I'm going to actually assign this to, actually instead of returning it, I'll just print it. So I'm going to print the return of that. So now at least we'll see if something's happening correctly. Although I think my app is kind of acting strange here. Run. Okay, there we go. Why I've believed as many as 459 before second breakfast. Well, it's not my favorite lesson, but there it is. So again, we created a function, it returned an int instead. Then when we called the function down here, it stored the integer there. And then we passed in these properties into the second function, which returned this string, which we ended up printing down here. Hopefully this is helpful for you. If you want me to make any other videos, let me know. Until then, happy coding.